Hello and welcome back to another episode of the SuperCoach Corner podcast. And today we have a very special one for you. The day before round one starts and SuperCoach lockout begins, we've got a final team reveal from Tyson, the one and only back-to-back top 1,000 finish, top 100 finishes. He is the guy, multiple top 1%ers. If you want to know how to play SuperCoach in the last few years, he's the guy you hit up. And today we've got his team reveal. I don't know it. I'm excited to know it. We've kept this a secret from each other. Tice, how are you feeling about it?
I really like the side. It's just very, very similar to a lot of other sides out there. The fact that round zero has happened has sort of made a lot of teams very similar. So, look, I don't think there's been too many changes from my last team reveal. There'll be a few here and there, that's for sure. But yeah, no, keen to show you what I've got, what I'm working with currently.
Perfect. Well, before we get stuck into it, as always, make sure you go and follow us on all of our socials. And yeah, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you're thinking, and just like to know that you are watching along and enjoying what we're publishing, because we love doing this for you guys. So yeah, we'll get stuck into it, mate. Start from the defense. Who have you got? You've been adamant all preseason about fading Naz. Have you stuck to your guns?
Well, after the preseason game, people were like, why are you fading Naz? You can't do this now. Then round zero comes around and no one wants Naz anymore. So I'm still no Naz. I am heavily Jack Sinclair. That ownership number is now not in the pod range, sadly, but it is what it is at the point that we're doing this. You know, he dominated that opening round and just showed why I've been so hot on him.
Yeah, 29% hurts. I think it was maybe just over a week ago we put some graphics out on our page about him being a pod and keep an eye on him, under 10% owned, and now he's pushing 30% owned. I'm sure he'll be over 30 by the time the season starts. So yeah, his game and opening round was just too hard to ignore. Well, you haven't got Naz, you have got Sinclair. Who have you got at D2?
D2 has to be Connor Rozee. I think he's just a lock. It's so easy to just lock him away. Playing halfback, playing midfield, doesn't matter. That early draw is amazing. No early buy is huge as well. Just another premium you can have playing. Even though he's going to be in every matchup you come up against if you're playing for leagues or every other team high in rank is going to have Connor Rozee anyway. So he's just a proven scorer no matter where he plays. So he was an easy lock.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think he's been in both our teams the whole preseason, hasn't wavered there. But D3, mate, anything change, or are you still going strong?
I've to and fro with this one, but I have stuck to McKercher currently. I just don't like the fact he's coming back from an injury, but the price is too good. The role is too good. At the moment, I'm sold on the role and what he can do with it because I've experienced it in the past, latter half of last year. So it just was a proven scorer for me. So I really, really like it, but he has been in and out of my side in the last few days.
Yeah, no, fair enough. It's hard when you don't get a good look at them before the season starts. But I agree. I think it's just too hard to pass up for that price for a guy at his best can genuinely push, top 8. I think even top 6 defenders with the way that he gets his hands on the footy and the way he uses the footy. So yeah, it's so much of a bargain. At D4, what are you rocking here?
Yeah, I'm so hot on this pick. Lockie Blackiston, getting that ruck roll is huge, and it looks very good in it. And going to have it for 4 or 5 weeks at a minimum was the initial injury report from Essendon on Nick Bryan. Nick Bryan seems to be their preferred guy, but Lockie Blackiston looks like he's done himself no worries in that preseason game. Yeah, and I think Nick Bryan being out for that extended period of time, being out for 12 months, he's going to have to come through the VFL, I reckon. Hasn't even got a lot of AFL experience. The injury list has literally come out as I'm speaking, and he's still another 4 to 5 weeks away. So that means he's round 5, he's probably available. And he'll come through the VFL. So I really like it. If I get 4 weeks of Lockie Blackiston at Ruck, I'm still preferring that. He should be able to make me 100K, I think.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I think the consistency with the number one ruck role, when he's not really sharing it with anyone. I mean, Peter Wright will probably pinch it there. So it's his to lose for the first 6 weeks, and I think you'll make enough cash and provide valuable on-field points. So I do love the Lockie Blackiston pick. What about to round out the defence, mate? Have you got your pretty much standard rookies?
Yeah, standard rookies, Grill and Lindsay on field, and Sarong and Jax on the bench. Grill showed so much in that preseason. There's so much chat coming out of Richmond about him just dominating. Looks like he's breaking lines. Like in that Melbourne preseason game, you saw that passage through the midfield, getting the 1-2s, and just took the game on. And it was so good to see from a guy that hasn't even played a game yet at 18 as well. So really, really hot on this pick. Josh Lindsay, great ball user. We saw that in the Port preseason game as well. He is more of the second distributor behind Ryan Marrick, I feel, in that West Coast defence. Rumoured to be one of the best shoes in that draft crop. So definitely love that. And then we saw Sarong and Jax on the weekend in opening round. They, provided some really good scores of 77 and 84. It's a great start to keep starting their cash generation, which you could even play on field. I just have more faith in Sam Grill and Josh Lindsay in the fact that they're bottom end teams and it's going to be in their backline a bit more. So that's another positive point for me.
Nice. No, very good. Can't knock any of those rookie selections. What about the midfield? I assume you've got the big dog in Zach Butters at the top. Is there any surprises that you want to throw my way?
Zach Butters is at the top. I am fading the Bont as much as I really want to get him at some point throughout the year. I'm just fading him at the start. I feel I can get him cheaper. And yeah, you'll see in our mid rankings that will come out later this week that maybe Zach Butters is number one. So there's a few other guys that I really like in here as well, which is I've had a few changes. I really liked Isaac Heaney, but he's currently outside of my side. I'm still very sold on getting him in my team. And at M2 has to be Noah Anderson. I can't shake that early run. It just is phenomenal. And the fact he still pulled out 100 when he had a tag on him with O'Connor and Mullen just all over him in that game. I just really, really like this pick. He can still pull out 100 with tags. I feel like the tags aren't going to be as prevalent this year with the game sort of transitioning to a quicker sort of fast movement. Look, they'll still be around, but I think Anderson will just outrun them. That early run is just way too good to pass up as well. When we get into the forward line, I might have some issues with the buy in round 3, but we'll get to that soon. My M3 though is a guy that sort of made his way in. I've been flirting with him for a while now, and he's made his way in just based on what I saw on Saturday night, and it was Ed Richards. He's pulled out a huge score. I'm not chasing points here. I was so sold on this guy. I've just seen it on Saturday, and he just looked phenomenal. Looks like he's going to be the main guy at the Dogs going forward in that midfield. Looks like Bond's going to spend a bit more time forward. And yeah, they don't really need him in the midfield if Ed Richards is pulling out those performances.
Yeah, he was incredible on Saturday night and definitely he's skyrocketed into my calculations. And I don't blame you for putting him straight in your side if he was in yours already. So, he looks to be the mainstay in there. He's not going to be thrown around like someone like Bond might be. He'll be in the midfield and headlining that. So I love it. And Noah Anderson also. I think Saturday's game, or when they played Friday night, was just huge for him. He's always had an ability of getting tagged out of games, and it was hard to be an owner of Noah Anderson when that's the fact. But for him to be able to work through that, still score a very reasonable 100 in a nice win, I think that's huge positives for someone like Noah Anderson.
Yeah, definitely agree with all your points there. I can just slap the C on Noah Anderson for the next 2 weeks because he's got West Coast and then Richmond. So I don't think either of them are going to tag as well. So that's why he's definitely in there. And then, Ed Richards, if you saw our little snip on Instagram and TikTok, you would have seen that I have him as the Smoky Brownlow, and he definitely is leading it at the moment with 3 votes on Saturday night for sure. So could be onto something there. could be definitely
I
onto
had I
something
had him
there.
in Cluggy and he did a calf in 2 minutes, so that was pretty good as well.
Don't let me know actually let me know who your next guy is. I'll avoid him in my team.
Sweet.
All right. My last premium that I have in here, guy that I tipped to get up to that top 10. I only want to pick premiums that I see as being that top 10 come season end, is Sam Walsh. I really was hot on this pick in preseason. Just liked what I saw in that preseason game. So, the practice game, and then it just solidified it even more against Sydney. They got pumped and he still pulled out a 114. He's going to be the main guy for them, just runs all day. Teams up nicely with Jagger and Paddy Cripps and stuff in there. So, yeah, I really, really am hot on this Sam Walsh pick.
Yeah, I like it. It took me a while to warm to it, but it's kind of hard to knock it. It looks like he's as fit he's been in a while. So, we know when Walsh is fit and running on top of the ground, and he is a good SuperCoach player. So, yeah, it's hard to knock that one, especially at that price. I think it's really good buying. You said that was your last premium, so I'm expecting a couple mid prices here.
Yeah, the standard 3 mid prices I am definitely running with. They've all got huge upside. So it's Hayden Young, Darcy Parish, and Tanner Bruin. We've been very hot on all preseason. We've been hot on him since Team Picker. So he has just been phenomenal. He was at, I think, like 6% owned when we put a post out on our social, and now he's up at 45%, which is just ridiculous. Yeah, just shows the huge upside. Whether he was playing midfield or halfback, I really liked it. I just didn't want to see any real forward time, and we didn't see that. He's definitely playing that halfback, providing that run and dash. Sort of ahead of Lawson Humphreys at this point is what I noticed against the Suns on the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. He looked incredible and was one of the shining lights for Geelong. So, no wonder he's gone up to 45% owned. The other two sort of speak for themselves. Hayden Young, under a bit of an injury cloud. From all reports, he will play in the weekend, but we'll see how that shapes out. Hopefully he does for everyone who is starting him. What about to round out the midfield, mate? We've been a bit short on midfield rookies this year. Who have you gone for?
Yeah, it's always short on midfield rookies, but there's one that you just have to put on your field no matter what, and it's Jagger Smith. It's just super easy. Just lock him in. Racked up 27 disposals. He might have only put out a 65, but far out. 27 disposals that could be 100 easily. Could provide you some nice premium scoring at some point. And then on my bench, I've got Jack Carroll and Tom Blamirez. They're all subject to selection, but they're pretty standard. The last guy I want to be Dyson Sharp, but I just don't have enough. So I've currently got Chase Jones there just for the experience. He didn't do anything in that practice game, which I didn't like, but the experience that he has and the injuries that Adelaide have on that wing, I feel like he's going to get games. If he's not selected, obviously I'm going to change it. Like, all these rookies are subject to selection, but at the moment, I've probably got more faith in Chase Jones than any of the other mid rookies that I can actually afford in that spot.
Yeah, fair. It is hard with these mid rookies to get someone you're really confident in. I think a lot of it will come down to Thursday night and teams, and sort of seeing how they shape up. If Chase Jones gets that start in the wing, then I think he will be in a lot of people's teams. But it's sort of hard after that preseason performance to have much faith in him. But no qualms, no knocks on any of those midfielders, mate. What about the Rucks? What sort of setup have you landed on?
Yeah, I think it's no surprise if you are following along on the pod. I've been very hot on Tim English, possibly even finishing as R1. The Ruck rank is out, and yeah, if you have watched that, you'll see where he's finished. But I feel like he's got that real ability to get back to his best that we saw in 2023, that the wrestling sort of in the Ruck has gone out of the rules, really. You can't wrestle in the Ruck, so it's more a tap ruckman. There's a lot more quicker ball ups. Tim English has the tank. He was in his junior years, he was a midfielder. Then just randomly one year, he just grew 6 inches and was just turned into a ruckman that the Bulldogs have persisted with. So he is just so good. I think he gets back to his 2023 best. Well, I mean, it's pretty hard to, so maybe just close enough. So I'm very hot on Tim English. And then it's pretty standard from here as well. Lockie McAndrew on field. That's subject to Riley O'Brien not getting selected. If Riley O'Brien is selected and it's a dual ruck, I might have to look at running a 2 primo ruck. I just don't like it enough. I feel like he could just pump out 40s and 50s being the non-experienced guy. But in the preseason, all we've seen is that McAndrew is ahead of Riley O'Brien. Riley O'Brien's gone back to the sample, kicked 4 goals, dominated a game, like it just racked up disposals. So, and he's a vice captain. He could easily come back into this side. So I'm worried on the McAndrew pick. I think it's not as easy as just a pick and leave at that. If he is the number 1 ruck, he's so safe to play on field. So I do like that. And then Liam Reid at Art 3. I don't want to be just saving 20k. Look, if Chase Jones doesn't get a game and Dyson Sharp does, which he has been announced today that he is debuting, I might have to, save that 20k and go to Kalani White. I really don't want to. I'm happy to speculate on a guy at R3 who's got the DPP for 20k more, who might have the price rises, which we saw in your side last year, Das, really helped you at one point in the year. You needed that cash, and Archer Reid had made you, 150, 200k that you, and I just have Harry Boyd at R3 who doesn't even have DPP. So, I really, really like that.
Yeah, I think the upside with Reedy is huge. And yeah, at the end of the day, if he plays a game that gets dropped, you've still got, a bargain basement guy who has got DPP there, who you can use, to loophole and to swing to make changes. So there's not much risk involved in the Reedy pick. If you're desperate for an extra 20k, there is Kalani White, but fingers crossed you don't have to. But the forward line, mate, you said there'll be a few more round 3 bye guys here. What have we got?
Well, just the last thing on Liam Reedy as well is the fact that you only need to guess your captain and not have a loop in round 1. After that, you've got round 2, 3, and 4 as bye rounds, and then you're going to have a dead rookie. Like, there's never any year that you don't have a dead rookie after round 4 because, bye rounds you'd loop with people. So that's why I'm also very hot on fading the loop in R3. If it wasn't like that, if we didn't have early buys, I'd be more inclined to start in R3, non-playing ruck, because we don't know when the rookies are going to die. So in the forward line, we are going with the standard Harry Sheasel. Should be in everyone's side.
Yep.
He's just the easy set and forget in there. Christian Petrarca is going to hurt me on this round 3 bye, but my God, did he look so good. Just back to his best, even better than what we've seen from Petrarca. Didn't butcher the ball as much as we've seen. Looks like he's really worked on his kicking. That fresh start has been awesome for him. And I don't see Matt Rao taking his spot in the side because they've got Alex Davies and Will Powell running through that midfield. I feel like it's a straight swap, Matt Rao for Alex Davies. Maybe take the odd CBA here and there from Will Powell, who's just got it getting trialled in there, getting that string to his bow in there. So I don't think Petrarca gets affected, especially after we've seen a performance like that. And he's 520k, forward eligible, and the early run is so favourable that I can't look away from it. I've got Noah Anderson as well, so I feel like I'm just going to make up the points I missed from round 3 in my captaincy scores I'm getting from Noah Anderson and Petrarca. That's my thinking at the moment.
Yeah, fair. The early run is just going to be too hard to pass up. I think with West Coast and Richmond starting off, I still think Petrarca will struggle against teams when, Gold Coast are getting challenged. They didn't get challenged on the weekend, but they're not going to get challenged in the next fortnight. And I think Petrarca, he won't go to the 170. That's not his average, but I still think he will dominate. And he's got better forwards to kick it to as well now, so he's just going to impact the scoreboard even more. So, yeah, it's hard to knock the Petrarca pick, and there's a reason why he's in close to 70% of teams now.
Yeah. We're both pretty hot on fading Petrarca, but after what I saw, I am not fading that. It's just he's at top of the line, definitely easy, forward. So I really like that one. Then it's pretty standard from here. Sam Flanders is obviously a lock in the forward line. So he's my F3. And yeah, just nice, easy, lock him away, F3. My F4 is Connor Butterick. Definitely love what I saw on opening round, especially to do it against a very good side. And with Bailey Dale in the side is another massive plus there. Taking kickouts and everything. I kicked that long bomb from the centre square, so which was cool to see. And then, yeah, it's standard from here. Philippou and Robertson on field. I just trust their scoring a lot more than the other rookies that we have in the forward line. And it's not to knock anything on the other two guys that are on my bench, which are Leo Lombard and Todd Marshall. They just, they're going to provide some really good scores as well. Leo Lombard showed on in round 0 that he can play and he's up for the level. He's so quick and just huge, built like a brick shit house as well. So definitely liking what I'm seeing from Lombard there.
I love it, mate. Can't knock it at all. Connor Butterick, I love. Another one who we put a post out a couple of weeks ago, Tyson. He was in 1.5% of teams. When we highlighted him, he's now sitting at 21%. So a lot of that due to his performance on the weekend. Just dominant. And then the other rookies speak for themselves. So I love it. And I also love, Tyson, you've got 520k left sitting in your flex. I'm sensing a bit of a spanner in the works, and I can't wait to know who it is. So who have you got here?
It's not that big of a spanner, It's I wish it was. Look, if Jai Newcomb played well in that round 0, it could have been him. I'm pretty hot on the Newcomb pick. I feel like he could really take that game to the next level, but I just didn't see enough. So I've gone a guy that I see when I'm picking a premium, I need to pick him as top of the line premium. So I need to back in someone that I see finishing top of the line. And the forward line's pretty thin in terms of the top premiums. And it's got to be Cozzy Pickett. I feel like he's so underpriced. Getting that midfield role is so good. And yeah, I'm still very hot on this pick. I saw enough in the practice game that enough midfield time for me to select him.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I love it. I've been hot on Cozzy Pickett. It's one of the first picks of my team pick and hasn't left my team since. So, yeah, I think Melbourne will surprise a few people this year. And I think he'll be a big catalyst of that. So, I love it, mate. Really good. Great team. Let's have a look. Is there anyone that you've sort of faded? Any of the top guys? Not really. A few of the rookies. Kitty Coleman hasn't made the cut. Cozzy Pickett obviously has. So, yeah, there's a few mid prices that you might not have gone towards. I know obviously your boy Sammy Lawler didn't get a gig, but team's looking good, man. I think you've stacked up well. Obviously, like you mentioned, that round 3 bye might be a little bit of an issue, but I think the firepower around him, or around them, in the games that they do play might make up for that. So, team's looking good.
Yeah, that round 3 bye is Bulldogs as well, if you haven't seen. So Ed Richards and Tim English are out as well. So I'm missing 4 top-end premiums in that bye round. I also had Isaac Heaney in this side, so that would have been 5 because Sydney's on that bye as well. So I had to pump one of them. And yeah, it's Isaac Heaney who has made way. I am toing and froing with, obviously, Chase Jones. I went up to Dyson Sharp, but Cozzy Pickett has flirted down to a Sam Lawler to put cash elsewhere, and then I can put McKercher up to another top line, like a Nas. I still see Nas being a top 2 defender, so I could do that, or a Lockie Ash I've been pretty hot on as well. Maybe a Jordan Clark if I want a non-buy player. So those are some players that I've been shuffling with, and then, yeah, it's obviously subject to selection with the McAndrew. Maybe I have to put in a premium. So Cozzy Pickett and some other guys might have to make way.
Nice, mate. Well, yeah, it all stacks up nicely. I'd love to see if there is any other changes, but if there's not, I think it's a good starting team to go into round 1 with. So I'm looking forward to following along throughout the year. And yeah, again, if you're not following, make sure you follow, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you think of Tyson's team. There's any changes you would make. But until next time, just make sure you keep following along. There'll be more team reveals coming today. So mine's coming out. We have a combined team as well. So just keep an eye out for that. But thanks again, Tys. Best of luck for the year.
Thanks, Stars.
Thanks, mate.